Before we get into today's video game review of Disgaea 6, let me address a few things. Firstly, Disgaea 6 is my first ever time finishing a Disgaea game. I played 5 on Switch, but never finished it due to other games coming out around the time I picked it up. Secondly, due to spoilers, I will try my best not to show anything past Chapter 2 in terms of characters or story. I may show my main character stats later on, but I'm going to try my best not to show anything that would be considered a spoiler. Thirdly, everything said and shown in this review are my thoughts alone and gameplay captured from my time with the product. Lastly, I'd like to give a big thank you and shout out to NIS America for giving me the opportunity to review this game early. With all that out of the way, roll the intro. Disgaea is a long-running series of strategy RPGs full of over-the-top attacks, stats, and diverse maps. Disgaea 6 is of course no exception to this, with its massive stat pools, challenging stages with diverse mechanics, and of course party members that you'll grow to love. As a more or less beginner to this franchise, starting with such high stats made it hard to kind of gauge where I was supposed to be, or what was considered over-leveled, or just the right area to be. However, that's not to say the game didn't deliver tons of helpful tutorials that made the beginning a breeze. But before we get to gameplay, let's talk about the story. The story of Disgaea 6 is pretty simple. Your main character, Zed, is trying to get stronger so he can eventually surpass the God of Destruction, who is a super strong tyrant that rages on through different dimensions, destroying everything in its way. Zed has been given the ability to super reincarnate by his companion pup Cerberus, making losing to the God of Destruction thousands of times merely an annoyance more than anything. On your journey, you'll meet rich kings, knockoff Power Rangers, magical girls, and so much more. The story definitely got a little repetitive near the middle portion of the game, but I found the last chapters to be incredibly interesting and full of twists that I wouldn't have even taken into account prior to it taking place. The beginning of the story is pretty strong too, getting your feet wet with Cerberus and Zed, kind of figuring out their dynamic, going from there. Overall, the story was a fun ride, and the climax felt like just that. A big finale to the last 30 hours of reincarnating and making friends. Speaking on the gameplay for Disgaea 6 will be a little challenging for me as I don't really have anything to compare it to. However, features like auto battle are brand new, making grinding as simple as hitting auto battle, auto repeat stage, and going to bed for the night. I never personally left it on all night, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't leave it on while hitting the shower or cooking dinner. This is a feature that when abused can make the whole game a cakewalk. Of course, making use of the in-game cheat shop, you can rebalance the game to your liking, from increasing XP to raising and lowering the difficulty. However, these bonuses aren't free. For each stat you raise, you have to decrease one as well. For example, I'd normally turn down the amount of money earned per battle in favor of raising the EXP I'd get per that stage. You can do this for all things you'd obtain in a battle, such as class proficiency, mana obtained, money, weapon performance, as well as special attack ranks. That's something that I really enjoyed during my playthrough. It felt like I was always in control of my run, and I could decide when to up the difficulty and when certain stages were starting to drag. As a casual gamer and newcomer to the series, there were a lot of features I just didn't end up using. Super Reincarnation is one to start. If you're just doing the main game, Super Reincarnation isn't really something that you have to worry about. The overall basic benefit to super reincarnating is gradual stat growth. It resets you back to level 1, but is the best way to build a super unit if you're looking to take on post-game super bosses. Speaking of building units, one of the things Disgaea is known for is their freedom in creating the team that fits your playstyle. Want all printies? How about a ninja who's an aspiring content creator? Disgaea has it all. I even named some of my characters after friends and got some good laughs out of it. But how is the actual combat? Well, it's just okay. It's a standard grid-based strategy RPG with its own wrinkles thrown in the mix. Standing adjacent to an ally before performing an attack will see you do a combo attack for bonus damage. I've been informed that in previous entries, characters would have an actual combo attack instead of just getting bonus damage done to their current attack, which is something that I would have liked to see for Disgaea 6. It was probably harder to do thanks to the shift to 3D models, but something, even if minute, would have been better than what we got. Touching on the animation side of things, I gotta say, the attack animations were really flashy and satisfying to pull off. I must have watched Zed's Thunder Rush and Voltaic shoot 100 times over the course of my playthrough. The game doesn't start you with a ton of attacks, but that makes unlocking new attacks all the more exciting. Overall, gameplay is fun, customizable, flashy, and satisfying. I don't personally have a ton of problems with the combat as a whole, though this type of game is best played in bursts. The gameplay can get a little repetitive, but of course that can be mitigated by using the auto battle feature. Disgaea 6 has a bopping soundtrack. The hub world theme, Missing You, which I'll likely be playing throughout the review, is such a relaxing song. I would hum and even sing the lyrics as I run around talking to people and doing grunt work. This song is seriously great, and it's going right onto my phone ASAP. But that's not all. Let me tell you about One More Time. The first time I heard the song, I thought I was about to enter a Super Sentai anime. With the build up to the chorus, you can't help but just say, one more time. There's so many good tracks in this game, but I'll leave it there so you guys can experience it firsthand. Seriously, when you guys play this game, just jam out, man. It is a good time. Play with that audio on.
Stumble by.
Alright, let's address the Switch-sized elephant in the room. Disgaea 6 in Japan got a PlayStation 4 version, whereas we only got the Nintendo Switch version. Naturally, the PlayStation 4 version would perform better. That's just a fact. However, the Switch version isn't a bad port by any means. From the jump, you'll be able to choose if you want graphics, performance, or balance. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Graphics mode, at the time of this recording, is terrible. FPS drops below 30 consistently. Weird slowdown, audio lag. It's kind of unplayable to me, but maybe you guys can see some joy in it. However, balance and performance are perfectly enjoyable. I played balance most of my playthrough as I found it to be the best, well, balance. Performance, I feel, is best played in handheld mode, as the resolution drops quite a bit. Handheld mode also was pretty good, performing more or less the same as docked, with of course a resolution drop. While I never encountered any graphical glitches, some of my friends who were also reviewing the game seemed to encounter some odd ones. Everything I've said about performance could all be improved with a day one patch, but I just wanted to make you guys aware of it in the event NIS leaves it in the state it is. In closing, Disgaea 6 is fun. If you like strategy RPGs, you definitely don't want to let this one slip through your fingers. Don't be afraid to try this if you haven't played any of the previous games either. Sure, you'll miss out seeing the progression of the games, but Disgaea 6 is by no means a bad entry point. Tutorials are helpful, and if you get stuck somewhere, no shame in leaving the game on auto battle over a period of time for some free levels. I give Disgaea 6 a solid 7 out of 10. Great music, thrilling battles, endless possibilities, and a fun story to prepare you for the postgame. That just about wraps things up for now. Huge thanks once again to NIS America for giving me this opportunity. It's truly been an honor. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell icon if you want to see more from me in the future. Leave a like if you liked the video, and comment down below if you guys are getting the game. This has been Westtown HD, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces!